Hello, my beautiful diamonds. I was wondering, why is it that it seems like there are so many women who are so desperate to get married and so desperate to hang on to a man? And I realize what Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 says. Here, let's look at that together. It says here, at that time, 7 women will grab one man and say, "Please marry us. We will supply our own food and make our own clothes. You won't have to do anything else if you will let us wear your name and take away our shame." So now, after reading that, I realized that 9 times out of 10, you're going to have like 7 women for one man. However, just because they have 7 women for this one man, that don't mean there will be quality women. Because when you think about it, men really don't have a lot of options to pick from when you look at the quality of these women today. There are not many Proverbs 31 type of women out there. Let me share this clip with you, and I'll come back with my commentary.
Men don't have a lot of options to pick from either nowadays. Think about it. A lot of these bitches, first of all, they lead with their fucking body because they ain't got no substance. They lack integrity, don't have no morals, don't know their worth, don't even know what the fuck it is that they want in a person. Haven't healed from childhood trauma. Still walk around with the band-aid off the wound that hasn't quite healed. Yeah. Y'all don't have many options to pick from.
Let me just say it like this, because I agree with her 100%. This generation is made for being intimate with strangers you don't know. Most of y'all, with no disrespect, are just good for a good time. Because when it actually has to be set up and broken down into a relationship, first off, I'm probably not even going to agree with your career choice. Listen to what I said. Career choice, not no job. You want to be in the club, dancing, sparklers. Oh my God, it's good money. Cool. Not for me. You want to sit up here, bend over for the camera. Everybody know how many tiger stripes you got on your right booty cheek, but they barely know what your face is like. Can't take that serious. We sit up here, try to have an intellectual conversation. You just saying some outlandish things that you been seeing on social media for the past 2 years. I can't agree with that. Fellas, you ever asked a woman what her credit score was before? Have you ever gotten to that point in a relationship where you asked her what her credit score is, but women out here asking how much we make and worry about how much money I can bring home for them to pay for their hair and their nails? Fellas, have you ever been in a relationship where you sit up there and ask a girl, hey, how much debt do you have? Do we even get to that point anymore? Because I know I haven't. I've never asked a woman, or I've never gotten that serious with a woman where I sit up there and ask those 2 questions. And those are 2 valid questions to ask if you are serious. But 9 times out of 10, you go on social media, you go on the TikToks, you go on the Instagram, you see her, you go to her page, you see something you don't like, you can say, yeah, I'll be intimate with you. But taking you serious? Absolutely not.
Options to pick from either nowadays.
So yeah, that was some very valid points that this the lady brought out. A lot of these women, they lead with their body because they don't have any substance. There's nothing else that they really have to offer. And when it comes to women and their debt, how much debt do you have? And I think those are some questions that a person they need to know before signing up if you're about to take on a serious relationship. You already know where I stand. I say single is the best route because it's so much easier, and it's just something that's recommended if you want the truth. When you look at 1 Corinthians here, this is why I've also made my decision to stay single. Because if you get your Bible and look at 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 8, verse 28, verse 38, and verse 40, it says, "My advice for the unmarried and for widows is that it is acceptable for them to remain single just as I am. It isn't wrong to marry even if you have never been married before. But," here it goes, "however, those who marry will have a lot of trouble. And I want to protect you from this." Verse 38 says, "Those who marry will do okay, but those who remain single will do better. However, I think I am obeying God's spirit when I say we would be happier to stay single. Now that comes straight from the Apostle Paul's mouth, and he was also inspired by God to write this. So the way I see it is that staying single, it is the best route to take. Most of the time, singleness, to be married, better yet, is for sexual reasons. Like if you want to have children, and you want to have sex, sex belongs within marriage. But other than sex and children, what is the reason to get married? The Bible makes it very clear that in this imperfect world, pressures are on us from all sides. And it's not wise to take on additional stress in an already very stressful world. And the Bible wants to spare us from that. And it says also that those who are single, they focus more on doing work for the Lord, where you are appreciated. Having Jesus as your husband, honey, why settle for less when you can have the very, very best? And I know I deserve the best. I know I deserve the best. And that's why I can't imagine being married. As you know, I was already married, so it's not like I'm not speaking from experience. I was married 3 times, you could say 2.5, because I was engaged to be married again. But right now, I'm way too busy enjoying my life to ever get married again. Life is too short to be miserable, and it's irresponsible to model our misery to children. Bringing children into this world, this day and age, come on, look at the world and the state that it's in. Whether it's in a good marriage or a bad marriage or a miserable relationship with a family member or friendship or any type of misery, I don't see the reason for signing up for it. I'm sorry, I just don't see the reason. And I also keep asking myself, what am I missing out on because I choose to stay single? And what am I missing because I choose not to be attached to a man for the rest of my life? Now, you have a lot of people say, oh my God, you're going to be so lonely. You're going to be lonely as hell. You're going to be with a bunch of cats. You're just going to be so miserable. Your life is going to be a horror story. I don't think so, honey, because let me tell you the way I see it. What I'm missing out on is a whole lot of unpaid labor that is rarely appreciated. Cooking when I don't feel like it. Cleaning, laundry, emotional labor, giving birth to kids if that's what you want. That's what you miss out on. Being somebody's domestic slave or domestic servant. And then you keep in mind that you have a lot of women this day and age who are bringing home the bacon, fry it up in the pan, and never ever let you forget that I can also, if I chose to, be a man. I could never be a man, sweetheart, nor do I want to. I love the way Jesus created me. I love being a woman. I love it. And I love my freedom. You got to keep in mind that just because you decide to fly solo, that does not mean that you are lonely. You have a lot of people who are married, honey, who are so lonely they cry every night. You know? I think marriage is for people who, I don't know, they don't know how to live right or do right on their own. Because if you want companionship and someone to share your life with, think about the Delaney sisters. They lived to be 104 and 109. Think about the Golden Girls. Think about living single with Queen Latifah. That's the lifestyle. How about this? That's where I'm at right now in my life. Because I don't want children. I don't want marriage. At the same time, I don't have a problem being with a roommate. I've always had roommates, pretty much. You know what I mean? And it's been beautiful. That's what works best for me because I still have my freedom. I still have my independence. I still can come and go the way I want. You still have people helping you pay some of the bills, sharing the bills. That works for me, you know? And I don't get lonely too often because I have a lot of things that I'm passionate about. I have hobbies that I'm passionate about. I have my friends. I have social media. I have my family. I have support groups that I'm a part of. And I have my channel. As you see, I work on my channel. I try to post at least 3 to 5 videos a day because that's how you stay current. And I think people like consistency in this world, and when you feel that you can rely, I know that if I go on Sheila True Love's channel, I know she has something that's going to be encouraging, educational, or empowering to say. So I try to be consistent so you can kind of depend on me. Now there's times when I get sick too, you know what I mean? And my health sometimes, like I was in a hospital, I had pneumonia, didn't know it, then I had pancreatitis, and then I had issues. It happens. But I do try to be consistent with you. I try to do the power thoughts and empowerment 5 days out of the week. That's to give you the spiritual food that you need so you will be equipped to go out there into this horrible world. Well, it can be horrible because there's a lot of good things happening in the world too. But you need to have your spiritual suit of armor, and that's why I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I give you your power thoughts and your empowerment for the day. And your how well do you know the Bible trivia questions, so that way you could be strong and you can stay sharp. Because Satan the devil is no joke, sweetheart. But anyway, like I said, I choose to stay single because it's easier and because it's healthier, especially for women. And it's just, I don't know, my life is beautiful right now. Thank you, Jesus. I love you. Diamonds, diamonds.